Hey guys, what's up? The first match of the semi-finals is here. Today we are watching Del Piero versus Goossfraba. Remember, Del Piero won in the game versus me and he qualified to the semi-finals, and Goossfraba won against Excal. So Del Piero is on the bottom side of Rohan and he is men, and Goossfraba is at the top side. He is dwarves. Of course, he is starting with one barrack and one mine, looking towards his barrack in order to any troops that will come out of his barracks will enter this farm immediately with no delays, and of course he will send his builders, his one builder, somewhere near Del Piero's base to make a forward mine. Del Piero is starting with two barracks very aggressively. I think he is going to delete one of them after he recruits his first unit of Gondor soldiers. I'm not sure why his barracks are looking down towards the downside of Rohan. They should look upwards. So let's see, I believe he will destroy one barrack. Yes, he does. And now he does have two units of Gondor soldiers, and look at how smart Goossfraba is playing. He moved his builder from the top side of this lake in order to Del Piero not see him if he had captured any of those ruined towers, and as you can see, Del Piero had captured this ruined tower, so if Goossfraba had sent his builder normally towards the lower side of this lake, probably Del Piero would have seen him and he would know that an attack was coming, but Goossfraba was very smart. He moved his builder on the other side of the lake, and now Del Piero isn't aware that he is under attack. He must be now. Here comes Goossfraba's rallying call, and Del Piero sends one of his two units, his first two units, back to destroy that farm in order to avoid any more units coming in. But I think it's already too late for his fortress. As you can see, Goossfraba has taken a good position on it, and probably Del Piero will need hill structure. He hasn't chosen any of his powers yet. He has chosen hill structure. He needs to use it now. He does. But I don't think that this is going to be enough. Look at how powerful dwarves are. And in the meantime, the fact that Del Piero used his hill structure on his buildings, it means that he couldn't use rallying call on his soldiers, so he didn't do good damage on Goossfraba's base. And yeah, oh my god, Del Piero manages to save his fortress for the very last hit. Of course, his fortress will go down after this attack. Perhaps if Del Piero would have made some wall hub expansions on the edges of his fortress, perhaps the damage taken could be a lot less, so maybe his fortress could still have a little bit of health left. And yeah, Del Piero here is doing a good job defending his fortress. He needs to attack those units coming in fast before they reach his fort. Remember, his fort has one hit before it go down. And here Del Piero does make a wall hub. He is making a second one to protect his fortress, but perhaps he could have made a wall hub in the middle to avoid those guardians hitting his fort directly. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I think, in my opinion, his fortress would go down eventually. It's almost impossible to defend your fort if it has only one hit left. In my opinion, key point was the fact that Del Piero didn't make some wall hubs before the guardians reached his fort. Again, I'm not sure how much money he did have at the moment, but the point is that after your fort reaches such a low health, it's almost impossible to defend it and keep it safe. But Del Piero right now does have a lot of units, and I think he has 4 units in total, where Goossfraba only has 2. And remember, it's almost impossible to defend with dwarves, so Del Piero very cleverly scans the entire map to see if Goossfraba has any buildings around. And Goossfraba does have a farm at the bottom side, at the bottom left side of the map. Of course, Del Piero needs to avoid those guardians and not fight with them, since guardians are a lot stronger than Gondor soldiers. So Del Piero should avoid them, since the Gondor soldiers are a lot faster than guardians. Very interesting match. In my opinion, if Del Piero had managed to defend this first attack, I believe he would have an advantage in this game. And Del Piero here has made one stables, and he has recruited one unit of Gondor Knights, but look at how powerful Guardians are with Rallying Call on them. Even a cavalry unit cannot stop them. And Del Piero wants to destroy that barracks. Of course, look at how strong Dwarven barracks are. You will definitely need some power points to help your units destroy those buildings. And as you can see, Goossfraba here very cleverly uses his hill structure to save his barracks. And yeah, when you lose your fort, very nice catch here by Del Piero. Goossfraba, as you can see, has made the force works and is making his first battle wagon. Of course, battle wagons can be devastating for Del Piero. Why? Because they can track down your builders and kill them very fast, and also destroy your buildings very fast. But here Del Piero makes a nice catch. He finds out about Goossfraba's forge works, and perhaps he will destroy it with his Gondor Knights, but no, he doesn't. He is sending his Gondor Knights now to destroy that forge works and not allow Goossfraba to produce any more battle wagons. And Goossfraba right now has under his possession 3 out of 4 outposts. The 4th has not yet been captured. So Goossfraba must have lots of money right now. Yes, he does have 1500, where Del Piero only has 500. And yeah, what I was telling you about playing with no fortress is probably the biggest disadvantage is not the fact that your builders are in danger, and if you lose your builders you will definitely lose the game, but perhaps the fact that you can't use any power points. As you saw earlier, when Del Piero attacked Goossfraba's barracks, he had one unit of Gondor soldiers and one unit of Gondor Knights, and if he had Rallying Call to use on them, he would definitely take down Goossfraba's barracks, even if he did use his hill structure on them. So yeah, the fact that you cannot use your power points when you have lost your fortress is the biggest disadvantage, and here Del Piero gives up. Perhaps Goossfraba did found his last barracks, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter anyway, game was lost for Del Piero. But we did show a good fight here, dwarves versus men. Like I have told you before, I do believe that dwarves have a slight advantage if they manage to make their first attack. Here Goossfraba did try to succeed on making his first attack, but barely. He almost took down Del Piero's fort. That was very exciting to see, and yeah, the game was very close on who was going to win, but good game for both of the players. And let's just watch the second game now. Here it is, guys. Goossfraba versus Del Piero, game number 2. This time Del Piero is Mordor and Goossfraba is men. So this time Del Piero is the one who has the slight advantage over his opponent, since Mordor does have an advantage over men. But Del Piero changes his tactic a bit. He is starting with one barrack and one farm. We have seen him starting with 2 barracks before. Actually, we haven't seen him because it was the game that we didn't save when he was playing against me. But when he was playing against me, he did start with 2 barracks and then 1 farm. But right now he does it the opposite way. He's starting with 1 barrack, 1 farm, and then a second barrack, and of course he is producing his third unit of orc warriors. Goossfraba has a barrack and 2 farms, and he has already clicked on 2 units of Gondor soldiers, and he is sending his builder on the bottom left side of the map, probably to make a farm there that will not be detected and provide you with many resources until middle or late game. So Del Piero has captured that ruined tower, and he has seen that his opponent is men, so he will definitely know that he will need a bunch of orcs to spam him, since Goossfraba will not be able to defend his base until he makes an archery range. Del Piero uses his Eye of Sauron, but Goossfraba hasn't yet used his rallying call. He does use it now, but he has 2 units to face against 3 units. This will be an interesting fight, since Gondor soldiers are a little bit stronger than orc warriors, since they do have their special ability, the shield wall formation, which Goossfraba of course has already used, but I'm not sure if they can handle the orc spam by Mordor. And Goossfraba is playing very aggressively. He is sending a 3rd unit straight to Del Piero's base to destroy some of his buildings. As you can see, Del Piero's orc warriors are doing fine so far. They can stand up the pressure. And here Goossfraba does take a good position on one of Del Piero's orc pits. He probably will destroy it, I'm not sure. No, he doesn't. Very nice save by Del Piero. And Del Piero is producing some archers to defend his base, but Goossfraba does have an archery range already, and he is upgrading to produce some rangers who will definitely be needed against the orc spam by Mordor. Very nice play by Goossfraba. He definitely knew that he was going to need an archery range to defend his base against Mordor, and I think Del Piero will definitely need some more barracks soon enough in order to start attacking his opponent's base. And the first thing he will need to do, of course, is to destroy that archery range. Game will be extremely difficult for Del Piero if Goossfraba produces a couple of units of rangers. And here are the first samples of how strong rangers are against the orc warriors. You could see the Goossfraba did use the ranger's special ability, the long shot, and he did kill an entire unit of Del Piero. I think it was his archers. from a very long distance. And here comes a second unit of Goossfraba. And of course against Mordor, Goossfraba is definitely going to need some cavalry. Next, of course, he will definitely need some more archers to defend his base, but after that he will definitely need some cavalry to start harassing his opponent. You can't play defense forever. And here Goossfraba does captures that ruined tower, but Del Piero is doing a very nice job here. He takes a good position against it and he does destroy it. This is a very important save for Del Piero, because if Goossfraba did capture that ruined tower, then it would be extremely difficult for him to attack it and destroy it. And as you can see, Del Piero has a lot of units around the map. He has captured 2 of the outposts already and he is capturing the 3rd one. And here Goossfraba uses his long shot again to protect his outposts, and he does kill this unit, so he keeps this outpost under his possession. And here Goossfraba uses his long shot again and he does save another farm of his. Very nice play by Goossfraba. And here Del Piero is rushing Mouth of Sauron, and he is attacking Goossfraba's rangers, but Goossfraba uses rallying call on them, and Goossfraba has chosen to rush fire arrows from his archery range to upgrade his rangers. Of course, rangers do become a lot stronger with fire arrows on them, and right now Del Piero cannot attack them with rallying call on them and of course with fire arrows. And as you can see, the main reason that rangers become a lot stronger with fire arrows is that they can destroy buildings with fire arrows, with the fire arrows upgrade on them, and you can see how fast they can destroy buildings this way. Of course, Del Piero will need an Nazgul, and he will need to level it up fast to level 2 in order to get the Dread Visage and cancel the leadership on the opponent troops. I think we will see Goossfraba's Boromir soon enough, and right now I think Del Piero is using all his money to recruit some heroes. 2 Nazguls and Mouth of Sauron are of course a very strong way to attack your opponent's base, and he will definitely destroy many of his buildings, but as you can see he has already lost most of his buildings in his base, and Goossfraba still has his 2 units of rangers. Okay, now Del Piero has all of his ground heroes. He does have 3 Nazguls and Mouth of Sauron, so this is probably a very strong army. He needs to draw that Nazgul back though and not lose it. I'm not sure he will manage to save it. Yes, he does lose one of his heroes, very bad luck here for Del Piero, and he does lose his second Nazgul as well. He will definitely need to destroy that archery range though, and I think Goossfraba will produce some spearmen soon. Yes, he does elect some spearmen now. And as you can see here, Del Piero was very close on destroying Goossfraba's archery range. He knew how important it was to destroy that archery range, and Goossfraba of course knew how important it was to save that archery range, so he did use hill structure on it, and he did try now with some orc warriors to destroy it, but of course he wouldn't succeed since it still has decent health left. But as you can see, Del Piero is doing very bad in his base right now. He has already lost most of his buildings, and he has already lost 2 of his heroes. His last 2 are not doing good as well. But a nice save here of his Mouth of Sauron by Del Piero. And Del Piero is playing very sneaky here. He has made, how is this building called? A great siege works near that last ruined tower left, which is captured by Del Piero. And he was producing some catapults, which would definitely do a lot of damage to Goossfraba's fort if Goossfraba hadn't seen that building there, but he did see it and he did destroy it very fast with a large force of some rangers and some spearmen and some swordmen. And very nice defense here by Del Piero. He has killed most of Goossfraba's units with only 1 unit of archers in his base and 1 unit of catapult. And again Del Piero is electing to play with his heroes only. He is not making any other buildings. I think he will definitely need a builder soon and start making some orc pits again to be able to produce some units and hold back those spearmen and perhaps Goossfraba's heroes. As you can see here, Goossfraba has chosen to start with his first hero being Aragorn. And we are watching an excellent defense here by Del Piero. As you can see, he has switched his heroes on foot in order to be able to handle those spearmen coming in. And he was using his catapult for with his special ability. He had switched his ammunition to fear, and as you can see, he managed to hold back Aragorn for a little while, and he did save his ruined tower. But now Goossfraba does have Boromir as well, so he has a much stronger army, and he did use heal here on his heroes. And there goes that ruined tower. Very nice play here by both of those guys. They are using their heroes excellent. And you can see how a big difference those rangers are in a game versus Mordor. And besides that, Del Piero has chosen to use as a 10 power point this power, the Untamed Allegiance, which you can take control of a lair and use any units that will come out from there. So he has already gained under his possession 2 cave trolls, and he has captured that third one as well. And he did use this ability find a tree, which you can target on a tree, and then they have a tree as a weapon. So I think Del Piero will need to defend against those units. Perhaps he is playing smart. Maybe he knew that he didn't stand a chance against 2 heroes and 3 units of rangers, so he is bypassing those units, and perhaps he will need, he wants to attack Goossfraba's base from the side, since he knows that he is definitely going to lose his fort. Look at how many heroes Goossfraba has here. He has Boromir, he has Aragorn, he has Theoden and Theomer, 1 unit of spearmen and 3 units of rangers on the back. And here Del Piero didn't have a builder, unfortunately, and didn't manage to make another barrack somewhere else, because it would be interesting to see if he could manage to take down Goossfraba's base. In my opinion, with 3 cave trolls and 2 of his heroes, 3 maybe, I don't know how many he did have, I don't think he could have done it, since Goossfraba did have 1 unit of rangers on the back for defense, and of course his hill structure must have recharged so far. So I think his base was safe even with that amount of force that Del Piero did have. Yeah, it was a nice game. We did see some power moves by both of the players. As you can see, Del Piero knew that he was definitely going to need some catapults, and you can see how big difference only 1 catapult made in this fight. If Del Piero had a little more time and did produce a couple more catapults, then the game would be totally different. Yeah, he was unlucky that Goossfraba did manage to see his great siege works, and he did destroy it, of course. But yeah, nice game by both of the players, well played. And yeah, the first semi-final is over. Remember, we have the second one, which is extremely interesting, Sargo versus God, probably the 2 best players of this tournament. And I'm going to upload it soon, guys, and yeah, thank you for watching.